sorted, man. First track session since obviously come back from Toulouse, and obviously it didn't go to plan, as we said, so we're still kinda not dealing with it as such, but we know what needs to be done, and one of the main things that stood out was just speed just wasn't there. We needed to be holding 350s in my opinion, or 345s at a maximum, and we just didn't. We held about 4-minute kilometres, man, so there's going to be a lot of speed work going into this next training block, man. We've obviously got Glasgow in about 4 weeks, so we'll get as fast as we can, but today we're not going to rip the arse out of it, man. We've already been on the bike for an hour this morning, and we've only got, as I say, 10 minutes running today, and then 6 times 200 metre all-out sprints with a 200 metre easy pace as well. So for the sprints we'll probably hold about 3-minute pace, 3:10, and then easy we'll just come in about 5:10, 5:20 or something, and then another 10-minute cool down. So nothing crazy today, man, to be completely honest. And we'll just see how the legs are. The legs are feeling good, the recovery after the back of Toulouse. So we'll go for it, we'll see what happens. We've got the main man James capturing it. Aye, we'll see how we got on. My recovery from the weekend has been good. Like, there's not really any aches or pains as such. Obviously the kind of like usual fatigue, but nothing crazy, man. That is one thing I have noticed, but as well, like, see the level of athletes coming through is ridiculous, and it's the people that, not even that you don't expect. You know, I heard of somebody and then they fucking hit out with like 56, 57 minutes. It's crazy. It is what it is. Just need to get faster in it. It was an interesting fact, but like I was saying this to my coaches as well, that I found very, very interesting. Like, we done Poznan and we were 2 minutes faster in Poznan, and like when I look at what we were doing, that was obviously off the back of the Scotland run. The amount of running I was doing at that point, like on average we were hitting, like at peak for the Scotland run, it was like 300k weeks and that kind of stuff, and then obviously you've got Poznan like 5 to 6 weeks after that, and I just felt a lot faster. So it just shows you, man, like, see the amount of volume of running, it actually will just improve your hyrox. See when people go like, I need to do like hyrox specific workouts, like go to classes and that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, you do need to a certain degree, of course, so you get like better at stations, but see if you can run comfortably, you're going a lot better. Because I even noticed that, man, see, because we've turned a wee like, emphasis on the bike for this world record attempt, I've noticed it in my running, that my running's slower, legs are stronger, I'm better on the bike, but that fucked us in Toulouse, man. Honestly, I felt sorry for Josh, because in the first half he had to pull me through, don't get me wrong, the second half I had to pull him through, but it's racing in it, see what happens, man. But right, we'll get tore into this, man, we'll get the tunes on. And as I say, so 10 minutes easy, just to warm up, get everything moving. And then we'll go into 6 times 200 metre hard efforts, 200 metre recovery run at the back end of it, and then a 10-minute cool down. So it'll not be anything crazy, it'll just be nice and steady, get the feet moving quite fast, because I don't want to take it too far and then end up still kind of feeling the recovery a wee bit for next week, because we are very, very close to Glasgow, man, but we'll get it, we'll see what happens, man. I've went for like deathcore and hardcore and that shit over the years to ABBA and country music. Brings a bit of peace and quiet to my life, I don't know what it is, man. So, I feel like when we start running we need to put a country song in there, don't we? Definitely, alright. Let's go for this, man.
From
right.
This desert sea, Lord, I think that the devil might be after me. I don't wanna waste my integrity. I'm just a man living a one-night stand. I'll tell you what I need.
That felt actually really, really good considering the way the legs are feeling, because we held just under 5-minute kilometre for a warm-up. Heart rate sitting at 152 now. Now it's doing at 147, so feeling good. I feel like this is going to be a pretty fast session, but it can be a wee bit deceiving. You never know until you get into the first couple of like intervals and that kind of stuff. But that's one thing that I would say as well. Like, I would normally say my warm-up pace is probably 5:10, 5:20. It's normally my zone 2 pace, right? But that was 10 seconds faster and it felt good. So sometimes you just go with it. I looked at my watch, it sat about 155, 145 the full time. Spiked a wee bit near the start, but I just got too hot, man. But I think as well, sometimes you can get too caught up in the data where you're like, alright, this is normally my pace. So you feel good, man, go for it. Like, on paper, I should probably be feeling heavy today. Feel good, we're just going to see what happens, man. Sorted, man, so the interval section of that is done, and I knew I was feeling good, man. I went really fucking well, man. So average pace there was 240 on the sprints, mate, so I'm really, really happy with that, to be fair. Coming in between 30 and 33 seconds for to 200 metres. So all in, it's good. We just need to cool down for the next like 10 minutes, man, which I accumulate roughly about 5.5 kilometres, which is good. It brings the total up for the week. About 20, just under 20 kilometres. We've got to run tomorrow as well. So as I was saying at the start of this, one thing that I have noticed, man, like when I was training for Scotland, like the volume of running I had, it just impacted everything. And like, especially in hyrox, especially in running, even like any cycling and that kind of stuff, it played a massive part. So I think maybe going into this next prep, we'll put a lot of emphasis on running, because we were averaging about 50k weeks. I think I want to get to about 70 or 80k weeks and see what happens. But the legs are feeling good, man. And aye, steady, man. Just my hands are fucking freezing, man. I was thinking this as well. Like, see, one of the joys actually of running, I always describe it as this. Not to sound pure wishy-washy, but like my head's on the go all the time, right? And it just goes 24/7. And like, you ever seen the movie Bruce Almighty? And now when he is it when he first meets God or something? And like, no, he's got the emails, and it's like going 100 miles an hour, and he just sends that email and it goes quiet. That's like what running does for me. It just pure silences it. Because I get a lot of people that go, why could you be after running that distance? Obviously, like Scotland, it was at 539 kilometres. It was a fucking 10 days of silence. Like, that's what it was. So for me, it helps with that noggin, man, to be fair. But let's get this cool down done. As well, anyone that says they like interval training just doesn't do it fucking hard enough, because it sucks. Like normally that's meant to be 10 rounds, and that was only 6. And you can even tell by the look at my face and how I'm breathing. It hurt a lot, man. But nevertheless, gas cool down done. 10 minutes, and then that is a wrap, mate. And then we can get the fucking hands put away, because it's fucking freezing, man. Right. Sorted, man. That was a success, man. I'm happy with that. Cold butt, man, innit? Freezing, mate. Absolutely fucking freezing, but just under 6k there. I'll take it, man. Bang on 30 minutes as well, man. So I'm content with that, man. Guys, it's crazy, man. That's what I was going to talk about at the start, but it's like the recovery time between like events now is insane. Like, I'm feeling back to myself, to be completely honest, man. And if this was maybe a year or two ago, I'd still be crippled. So the progress is there to be seen, man. And that was another thing that we're kind of talking about. Like, after the dust settles, you know, that kind of when you do an event, you don't get what you want and that kind of stuff, whatever. The dust kind of settled on it, and there's a lot of positive to take away from it. The recovery's good. Fucking felt strong. Just the running the sled that just kind of needs to improve, which we will get, man. But nevertheless, gonna get a wee bit of cool down on that run. And then we go again tomorrow, because we've got a big fucking nasty strength conditioning session tomorrow. We've got the run club and that kind of stuff tomorrow as well. See as well, one thing that I kind of want to say with this, you'll hear me talking a lot about like volume and all that kind of stuff. Like, obviously I spoke about being on the bike this morning. This is meant to be a bit of a deload week. We're still cranked up about 8 hours of training, or we will by the end of the week. And that's like, you might not be at that point to do that. And it's not that I am fitter. I've earned the right to do that kind of volume through the years of training, that kind of stuff, man. So you'll see, like, that's what I've noticed on social media. It's like quite common for people to be doing double sessions. Obviously I do double sessions and that kind of stuff, right? But you just might not be at that point yet, and that's absolutely fine. I work with a lot of guys that want to just jump straight in, and like, my guys are inspirational. Like, they genuinely send it, hence why fucking they go the extra mile. But what I have noticed is sometimes they want to just go too fast too soon, and a lot of people fall victim of that, man. So even though you see like myself, you'll see other people in front of me going fucking crazy hours of training, you don't necessarily need to do that to succeed. It might actually pull you back a wee bit. So see where you're at, meet you where you're at, and slow it down just a bit here, because a year ago I wouldn't be able to train like this. So it takes time. It genuinely takes time. But let's get fucking wrapped up, man. Oh, we've got some of the guys. We've got a guy inside the programme, Kyle, a fucking whippet. But he's like he was like a Commonwealth cyclist and that kind of stuff. And he had like is it sub 16 5k? And you're like, what the fuck, man? And some of our guys are like looking at it going, how the fuck has he done that? And I'm like, well, look at the size of his legs and his background, man. And I think as well, see, because you see a lot of that on socials, where people, it's like, the way I call it now, see, like a sub 25k is fundamentally like 100 kg bench press now, isn't it? It's like the thing that everyone strives to get. And like, the same as 100 kg bench press, like, you don't just walk into a gym and do it. And like, you don't just walk onto a track and do a sub 25. Well, some people might, right? But it doesn't genuinely happen. And I think a lot of people get disheartened. And I also think a lot of people underestimate how long a 5k actually is. Minding COVID, when everyone was doing like the 5k challenge, and like punters that have never ran in their life, like, I got a sub 21 5k. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, you just didn't, man. Do you know what I mean? See as well, we can see people on Strava. You'll know who you are as well, by the way. A lot of people do this. Now you're that. Do you know you can actually check your moving time and your elapsed time? So people like pause it, rest for fucking 2 minutes, and then start running again. You're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Me and my mate have caught quite a few people doing that, because not a bit of ego, right? But it's like somebody will put up a time and I'm like, there's no way you're faster than me. And like, you'll look at it and then you'll check their elapsed time and you're like, I fucking knew you weren't faster than me, mate. I fucking knew it. It's mental, mate. It's quite sad, but isn't it, when you actually think about it? Do you think that's to do with like a lot, like the social pressures and stuff, mate?
People try to keep up.
See, I don't get it, man, as well, because like, see, when it comes to an event, like you'll get found out. Do you know what I mean? Because like you'll come to like, say you're hitting sub 20, 5Ks and that kind of stuff, right? And then you go to the local park run and you hit like 23 minutes. You can't just blame that on a bad day, man. That's 3 minutes of a difference, man. Unless you've popped the hamstring, mate, like, you're cheating. Is that it, man? I don't get it, man, but people get found out, man. But nevertheless, man, we'll round that off there. That was a good track session. The legs are feeling good. And we'll just crank the volume up again. Going into Glasgow. So we're 4 weeks out from my first solo hyrox in 2 years. To be fair, fun fact, well, no fun fact, but I actually done my last hyrox, my last solo hyrox in a pair of fucking Reebok Nanos. That's how clueless I was 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to have a proper pair of shoes on this time, and we're going to go for, hopefully, sub 70. That's the target. The minimum is sub 75. But if we can get sub 70, man, I'll be happy with that. And I think we will. We'll play a wee part in that, man. And we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, eat plenty of food, man. Fucking pull the pin a wee bit and just lock completely in, man.